Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host Scotty McCoy, and boy do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now David Perry, and he played, and I have to look at my sheet for this because there's a lot of stuff going on. You're playing Cam in Scream Bloody Murder, Mikey in ShadowMarsh, and as a treat, you don't even know this yet, I don't think, but you're going to be in 72 as Jason Campbell. And he is going to be a role that you're going to be doing from video, which is going to be super exciting. We have you in the script, and it's confirmed. So we are excited about that. How you doing, David?
I'm doing good, yeah, and playing Jason Campbell in 72. That's what's up, you know?
Yes, it's really exciting. I'm really excited to have you a part of 72. Obviously, you donated, you helped us out to help us fund our movie. We truly appreciate that with everything, you know, we really do. I really thank you about that. It's really been, you know, a great journey that we've been on, and I'm really excited to see this movie come, you know, to fruition. I'm really excited. So
yeah, that's what's up, you know.
Yes. So the
I'm
first
glad
question
I can help out, you know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So the first question I got for you is, how did you get your start into acting?
Well, let's see. Okay, well, just gonna have a drink right quick. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, it all started on a cold winter night back in Chicago. Well, actually, it was a cold winter afternoon, but yeah, I started as a student at Columbia College Chicago. I majored in cinema there and also minored in acting, and then it was in one of the foundation production courses that I was doing, and then where I was paired up, it was like I just got started doing student films, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it was like my how do you say, my partner and everything I was working with, he was in my short film, I was in his, and that's how it just began, you know.
Awesome.
And that's just been the whole how do you say, it just went on from there. Like everybody was asking me to be in their film, and I was showing up to do auditions and stuff, and it was nice, you know.
Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, once they say you get bitten by that acting bug, it doesn't go away.
It does not, you know. Especially when it was something you know you knew in your heart of hearts that it was like you always wanted to do that, but it was like, okay, like how do I get started? Where do I get started? You know, like I was like, originally I thought, okay, I was going to finish college, maybe go to New York and maybe start there or something like that, you know. But then you know what they say, if you want God to laugh, you know, tell him your plans. So it's like, no, you're going to start right here, right now in Chicago, and this is how it's going to be. I'm like, okay, cool.
Absolutely. It's really exciting. I mean, it really is. And I mean, acting is a very unique talent to have. I mean, it's not something you are born with, it's something you can learn, but it's not easy to learn. It's something that you do develop over time with practice and patience and education and training and all different things. And it really is something fun to develop. It really is.
Yeah. And also it's about having fun with it too, you know, just enjoying the process. Like even if I wasn't going to be a professional actor, I would still have taken at least an acting class or improv, because it's just about, you know, having fun and just, you know, being in the moment and stuff, and just letting that personality just, you know, just come right out, you know.
Yes, exactly. So how did you find out about the 72 Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign?
Let's see. How did I find out? Oh, through a DJ Patton.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he and I were in Night of the Zomghouls together, and you know, we became really good friends on set and everything. And then he had mentioned it, and I was like, okay, cool. You know, another horror movie I can support. And I think, like, because the concept is like a pandemic horror, right? And I was like, oh, cool. I'm like, okay, what can I do here? And I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, where can I throw my support and everything? And I was like, okay, yeah. So that's how it, you know, how it all came about,
and
you know.
It's funny with that, and I can't give like really a lot away about your character, but what I can say is your character is a pivotal part of the plot point of how the pandemic, you know, came to be, so to speak, in you know, a major, you know, person on like a major character's story arc. Like your character is kind of the revealer, or so to speak, or like the like you're the one that kind of, you know, I don't know how to say it, like you're kind of the one that dives into like the epitome of the story arc. Let's put it that way. So you've got a really important part in this movie, and we really think you'll do it justice. So we're really excited to see how you do it.
Wow, I'm important.
Yes, you actually really are. It's really exciting.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm
So,
pivotal.
what made you want to donate and contribute to be part of the film?
Well, again, I was reading about it and everything, and I like the concept, and it was like, and also like I consider myself just to be like a major supporter of like independent horror and everything, because I know the challenges that come with making, like producing a horror movie and stuff. I've done a couple of shorts, and I've done, I got a feature somewhere in post hell and stuff like that. But we'll get to that later. That's another. But yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my god, I might get sued
I
for
was
that. But
we had our first
yeah.
movie out Samhain, and it was I did pretty much all that on my own for the most part, and it was really hard. And then now we have 72, obviously, and me and Carl are working on it together. He's doing a bulk of the work, and I told Carl, I'm like, how did you, like he even meant even I think he even posted a status on Facebook about it. He's like now I understand like how hard this is. He even told me like he doesn't know if he'd be able to pull this off on his own. He would be able to, but it would be a lot more stressful without help of like myself and that. And it is a difficult process to get a movie from start to finish out there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It truly is a labor of love. It's like you gotta really
Enjoy it
you
for
just really
sure.
gotta, yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta like, and also it helps to see like the end result and like what could be and everything. Because it's like I remember like hearing about Blair Witch and everything, and Paranormal Activity and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
like what the creators of like Blair Witch, what they went through to get that made and stuff. It was like it wasn't just the original production. It was also like reshoots, color
Yeah,
correcting and stuff, and all that. It was
absolutely.
just, yeah. So I'm like, and also I just it also helped me to fall in love with the with indie horror and everything. So like I don't look at a horror movie like, even if it had like a zero budget, I don't look at it like, oh, it's crappy, it's cheesy and stuff like that. I look at it, especially as a graduate, or how do you say, an alumni of a famous film school. I was like,
Yeah.
like a group of people got together and like they believed in this, and they made something happen. And yeah, so that's how I look at it.
Absolutely. It's great. Like, and just seeing the movie magic come into place, it's really cool. It really is. Like, it really is, as they say, movie magic. Like,
Yeah.
it really is like just when you add the sound effects, just add in, if there's CGI in the movie, we don't have any CGI. We do all of ours practical. But like if there's CGI or music or audio or sound effects, everything like that, all added in, it literally, it elevates the movie like so high. Like it really is movie magic, and post production is where all that magic really happens. It starts on the set, but like, and then when you piece it all together like a puzzle, it really becomes magical. It really does.
Yeah.
So we just revealed earlier that your character's name will be Jason Campbell. Now, like I said, I can't go into too much about it. I kind of went a little bit, maybe a little too much I gave away, but I gave enough that we can, pique some people's interest about the character. So I know you're not going to be on set, from my understanding. You're going to be doing it on video, from what I was told.
Yeah.
So what are you excited about filming the scene, and what are you excited about the most?
Well, let's see. Well, I'm excited, for the story and everything. And now like what you told me, like I'm playing a pivotal character. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh wow, so now I'm like even more like,
right.
more like, how you say, like stoked and ready to just, like go in there and give it all I got. And then also, I've never really let's see. I mean, I think I did one like a little while ago and everything. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say about it because I think it's still up in the air or something. But
Right.
I did film like virtually, because I'm,
Hmm.
because for a long time I'm based in Chicago and everything. And, well, right now between, like I'm bi-coastal, so to speak, Chicago and Los Angeles. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, so it's exciting to, do a film virtually and everything. I'm excited to know the process of that as well. And, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
really
we can
exciting.
be on either sides of the country and still make, make magic happen,
Right, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
know, and on a, I guess you could say personal slash business side point for Gravestone, did you mail out your contracts yet?
Oh yeah, they're on their way.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to make sure so I know to keep an eye out for them. So since you did mail those out and everything, I will talk to Carl as well. And this is like a side note that everybody's listening to, probably doesn't care about, but I will talk to Carl and see about how we're gonna go about getting you the script and everything, when we're gonna get it to you and everything like that, since you sent all that the NDA and all that out. So I'll talk to him about that after the interview, and we'll see what we go from there. Because I know we still have some things we're adding in, and so, but it's basically it is done. But we have some last minute touch ups and any donors that donated that need to be added in. Like we got a couple of people that got a picture in the movie again, and we got name in the movie to mention. So just some things we have to add in there that we're double checking all of the people that did donate, make sure they got their perks fulfilled and all that stuff. So we want to make sure that we honor all that. But the script, the bulk of the script, like is fully done at this point. So that's really exciting. Fifth rewrite, but it worked out. So I'll talk
Yeah.
to Carl about that and get that to you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it too. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what you think about it. So how did you become involved with Scream Bloody Murder?
Oh well, yeah, Sean C. Phillips, the director, that we were in ShadowMarsh together, and that's kind of how we met and stuff like that, because we're affiliate with that production. And so one morning I got a message from him telling me about Scream Bloody Murder and everything, and I was like, oh wow, and I was excited for that one because it's like, he talked about how it's a throwback to 90s slashers like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legend, what have you. And also, like, I'm not sure, like, how much I'm allowed to say about it, but it's basically about, a killer stalking a cheerleader camp, according to the IMDb page and everything. And so, it was a lot of fun too. It's like I read the script and everything. When I finally got it, I'm like, oh wow, I was excited for it and everything. And so, it's very, and like, yeah, and of course a throwback to Scream and stuff like that, that was so like brilliantly written and stuff, and and acted and everything. And then of course getting on the set, it like really like exceeded my expectations of it. So I'm like, wow, I'm
Yeah.
still having a great time for that. And I'm thinking back to that day when I first got the message, telling me about it. I never imagined that, the minute I said, yeah, let's do this,
Yeah.
I never imagined how it would turn out, like all
Yeah.
the wonderful people I would meet,
Absolutely.
and work with and everything, and just,
Absolutely. And I believe is it Scout Taylor-Compton has been assigned to that project now too, right?
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she was on it. Yeah, I think she was here. I forgot when, but yeah, I was like, yeah, Scout Taylor, she came all the way up from Compton. Yeah, it was so nice. No,
That's
it's an
really
ongoing
exciting.
joke I have on set and everything with everybody,
Awesome.
But yeah, it was really cool, yeah, and Todd Bridges was there, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's part of it, and
Awesome.
Tom Sizemore. I was like, wow,
Yes, that's
and
really
so,
exciting. And what about ShadowMarsh? How did you become involved with that?
oh, that one. Let's see. Because yeah, let's see. Okay, how do I say? Okay, so I was on Indiegogo. I was just looking up some stuff, like what horror movies can I support and everything. And I came across ShadowMarsh, and I see how it's, it's like they're doing, they're like, how do you say, like redefining the horror genre. Like this is gonna be so epic and stuff. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, cool. And then, so I was like, yeah, I can definitely support something like this and everything. And then it turns out a friend of mine's from college, he knows one of the producers, and I became friends with him. Yeah, the two Matts and stuff, as I call them. It was great working with them as well, Matt Leal and Matthew Fessel and everything. I hope I said that right. I hope, yeah. And so yeah, it turns out, yeah, me and Matthew, we both were at Columbia together. I mean, I don't know if I met him or not, if we had any classes together, but we do have a professor in common that we just,
Awesome.
just love and adore. Julian, yeah, shout out to Julian Grant. He's like one of the first industry people I met, when I was at Columbia. So that was really cool. And so, yeah, I was like, hey, and then I saw the perk where it says you can get killed in the film. I was like, I never done that before. So it's like I'm curious to see how that's like. So let's,
Right.
let's do this, and then
Yeah.
yeah, and so I'm like, wow.
Nice.
So that was like that also exceeded my expectations too, because it was a lot of fun and everything, and then met a lot of amazing people on set and everything, and then I was still, I mean, I'll admit when I first got there, I arrived to the set and everything on like outside of Fresno and everything, I was still a little, kind of nervous and everything. 'Cause, we're just still slowly coming out of the pandemic and stuff. And then I was like, oh my God. And then I'm back in California and stuff like that. And this was when it was kind of, like it was crazy and stuff where it's like,
Right.
oh my God, you're going to California during the pandemic? No, don't do that. I'm like, I'll be fine, and hey, I did turn out fine. Nothing happened to me. And
Absolutely.
so, yeah, I was just like, I stayed safe and everything. I was careful. And so it was all good. And then, yeah. And so, yeah, I ramble on a lot of times. So yeah, my
Not a
friends will tell
problem.
you like, yeah,
It's awesome though. I mean, now is ShadowMarsh, is that released already, or is that in post, or?
I think it's still in post. And
Okay.
yeah, and that's another thing too. I was like, you know, it got a nice write up in like what was it, Rue Morgue and Bloody Disgusting, like two publications and a few other publications as well. But those two that I mentioned, they were like, I've read them for years and stuff. And I was like, wow, I'm like, I never imagined that I would be in a horror movie that got, that gets, a write up in there. So that was really cool. So
That's really exciting. That's really awesome. So, so what horror film got you your start into becoming a horror
let's see. Wow, that one I'd have to discuss over a nice glass of red. So yeah,
fan?
but I've always just been a horror fan for as long as I can remember. Like I remember, like I was like, one of the few like like kids like in preschool that's seen a scary movie. Like I saw like Fright Night was always that one was just always a good like a scare fest and everything at our house. And then there was yeah, a lot of them. I grew up watching all the how do you say the greats of the slashers, Halloween's, the Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff. I'm like, I was like, of course, afraid to sleep for the longest time. I was like, any like sound I might have heard, I'm like, okay, what was that?
Right. I mean,
I'm
how
like,
can you
yeah,
sleep when you're watching a Nightmare on Elm Street and somebody's killing you when you're asleep in your nightmares?
yeah. But then when I woke up the next day, I was like, okay, nothing happened, so I should be
Yeah.
fine here. Yeah.
At least you woke up because when Freddy kills you, you die in your sleep. You die for real.
Yep.
That's
Yeah, and
awesome.
that's another thing too. I fell in love with, horror villains too. It was like, like Freddy, like and all
Yeah.
them and stuff.
Funny because like Freddy and Jason and Michael and all them horror villains, they become more of an icon than the actual survivors do and the victims do.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, that's kind of, that's the other thing that drew me to the horror genre. It's like, wow, they celebrate the villains of this and stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, and they make the villains more interesting than the actual people. And sometimes there's movies where they make the characters just so unlikable, and it's like, oh
Mhm.
my god, I can't wait till they get theirs. It's like,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. So, is there any advice you'd like to give to people who want to donate to an Indiegogo campaign, but they're a little hesitant maybe to do so?
Well, hmm, advice I would give, because I'm still kind of new to it myself. I mean, I've done it off and on for a few years and everything, but it's like, just yeah, if it's something you feel, right about, and it's like, you're able to, support it in any, in any fashion and stuff, I would say, just take a chance. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's like the same thing with like, if you're going to invest in a movie or something like that, it's kind of the same thing, I would say.
Yeah,
And then just like, if you're worried about like, monetary issues and stuff like that, it's like I would just say, just don't invest any more than you can afford to probably lose, because
right.
again, it is a gamble when you're, investing in
Yeah.
something. And so,
Yeah, because any,
but
any independent film, like if they're looking for a fund and you donate to them, you can lose that money if the movie doesn't get made, because the movie could just fall apart. Whether it's the cast and crew just kind of like start leaving, or the executive or production teams that is in charge management wise could end up having a falling out, like, and then you can lose that money. So it is an investment, and it is something that is a risk, because movies don't take a couple months to make. They're a year to 2 year long process minimum.
yeah,
So you could lose out on your money at one point. So that is something that you want to, that you can take as a concern. And if you do think that is a concern, always research the production team, the campaign organizer, like the company. Research to see, do they have any other movies out? Do they if they do,
yeah.
like, was the movie low budget or big budget? I mean, even if it was low budget and it was a horrible movie that they previously put out, it might be because it was their first movie and they just didn't have the funds to make it, because movies are very, very pricey, and it's not easy to get the income for it. So that's where everybody's donation
Yep.
really counts. It really comes into play. Like, I mean, if you don't donate, I mean, the movie might still get made, but it might not be as good as it could have been without contribution. And if you don't have the funds, you don't have to have the funds to help. You could always share it, and that costs nothing, because your one
That
share can
too,
be a
yeah.
lot of other donations. So that's something that a lot of people that are hesitant should look into, because I understand it is a gamble. I mean, I donated, a couple $100 into certain films, and I mean, who knows? I might not get anything out of it. I might get something out of it, but that's not my fault. I mean, I donated because I trusted them, and if their movie, I mean, I'm out of money, but I did it because I want to help indie horror, and it's something. It's not that they were scamming people. It's just something that may have just fell through.
Yeah, things happen, things
Yeah,
come up,
things can happen, and sometimes movies don't get made because of that, or maybe they will eventually get made, but it might take longer than they anticipated. So always research the people that are making the movies, their companies, if they have past projects that were in the works or completed or whatever, because that always gives you a better indication on who is capable of making a movie, and who is reliable and honest and trustworthy. And there are people in the industry like Noelle Berger, Matt Burns, Matt Anderson, DJ Patton, myself, people
yeah.
that are in the industry, Jimmy Presley. That will be, if you don't know if these people are reliable when you do your own research, reach out to one of them, and they'll be able to kind of give you a little bit of headway on are they reliable, and if they don't know, who you can reach out to. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all about, there's a network of people and stuff. And then, yeah, and I've heard like there was a lot of, projects where people are like, oh, wow, I'm really excited about this, and,
yeah.
like so excited. And then I've heard about other projects where it was like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, ooh, that happened. I'm like, yeah, wow. Or,
Yeah,
and I was like, and
absolutely.
so, yeah, so you're right about the whole, just doing research and everything, because
Yeah,
that also helps. It definitely, goes a long way in deciding as well.
absolutely. So the last question I got for you, do you have any other projects that are in the works that you would like to discuss with me or promote to the listening and viewing audience?
Well, let's see. Yeah, there's well, aside from 72, yeah, which I'm
Right?
excited about even more so now, because I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
And then we just wrapped production on Scream Bloody Murder, so that's in post. I can't wait for everybody to see that and everything. And so, yeah, and also, yeah, tomorrow I return to Chicago, and also I'm collaborating with a longtime friend, and
Nice.
he sent me as I was coming back to LA, he sent me a script, about, like, I think it's I'm not sure if it's a pilot or something like that, or just a short film, but I gotta clarify that with him later. His name's Jay Davis. Shout out to him as well. I worked with him for many years, and so I was like, yeah, so I'm excited for that project as well. And then he's also got another horror project in the works, yeah, and he's like making a series out of it, and I'm like, wow, I'm in one of the episodes for that, I think, yeah, from what he told me. So I'm like, I'm excited to start filming for that and everything. And then I got a couple of other, projects that are like kind of in the early stages and stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, like kind of like, not ready to really talk about at the moment,
Yeah.
but it's,
Makes sense.
I'm excited about those as well. And yeah, and just I think I was also confirmed as one of the casts for Scream Legacy. It's
Oh,
a
nice,
Scream fan film. I was like, oh wow. So
nice. That's awesome.
I'm
So
excited for that as well because I
awesome.
never
So when
done a
you went to
fan
LA,
film.
when we were talking and you were going to LA, that was for Scream Bloody Murder.
Yeah,
Awesome. That's awesome. That's
yeah,
exciting. So I will keep a lookout on that. I'll also reach out to Sean and see if I'll be able to get him, maybe even Scott Taylor-Compton on my show to promote Scream Bloody Murder. I think that would be really cool. So we could
yeah.
do that. So that would be really fun. I'll reach out to him. I'm pretty sure he's on my Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty confident he is, because I know we were. He wanted to be a part of 72, but I don't think he had any more spots when he reached out, if I'm not mistaken. But I
Oh,
will reach out to him though and see if I can get him on my show and promote Scream Bloody Murder. I'll actually do that when I get off with you when this is all saving up. But yeah, I thank you, David, for joining me.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
This is awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
my
I'm
first
glad.
podcast interview. So
I was just gonna say,
yay.
this is your first podcast interview. I'm honored to be your first interviewer, so that's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to be working with you on
Absolutely.
72. Yeah.
And the feeling is mutual, and definitely likewise. I'm really excited, looking forward to it. But you have a good rest of your day, okay? Stay safe.
Okay,
All
you
right.
as well.
Bye.
Bye.